Tonight, Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg grilled in front of a jury for the first time in a landmark trial over claims Instagram is designed to be addictive for kids and teens. The case centered on a 20-year-old who says she started using social media at age 10.
For the first time in front of a jury, Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg is being directly confronted over one of the most serious accusations facing the tech industry today. Is Instagram intentionally engineered to keep children hooked? At the center of this case is a now 20-year-old plaintiff who says she began using social media at age 10, and that platform features contributed to depression, anxiety, and body image struggles. Internal emails presented in court reportedly show goals to increase user engagement time by 12%. Zuckerberg testified that policies have changed and that restrictions for users under 13 exist, but he also acknowledged that age limits are often bypassed. This isn't just about one lawsuit. It's about whether tech platforms are optimizing for growth at the expense of young mental health. And the outcome could shape more than 1,000 similar cases nationwide. So the real question is, where does responsibility begin? And where does personal accountability end?
Zuckerberg defending Instagram's current restrictions that ban users under 13, but saying, "I always wish we could have gotten there sooner," and testifying the company has acknowledged for a while that people get around the age restrictions. Zuckerberg also pressed about an internal email appearing to show goals to boost the time spent on apps by 12%.
The plaintiff alleges Instagram's core design features, from algorithmic feeds to engagement notifications, contributed to addictive patterns. Meta denies the claim, arguing that many personal challenges predated social media use. But the legal battle hinges on something deeper: design intent. Was Instagram engineered to maximize time on platform, knowing that younger users are more psychologically vulnerable? Internal documents shown in past congressional hearings suggested executives were aware of potential harm to teen users, particularly girls. In response, Meta has introduced parental controls, time limits, and teen account restrictions. Critics argue these measures came too late. It's also worth noting, YouTube is facing related lawsuits. TikTok and Snapchat were named in this broader litigation wave, though some settled. This case is being called a bellwether, meaning its outcome could influence hundreds of future rulings. Here's the bigger tension. Social media platforms profit from attention. But at what point does optimizing engagement become exploiting vulnerability? Should algorithm transparency be mandatory when children are involved?
Zuckerberg on the stand 2 years after a Capitol Hill hearing, where he apologized to families whose children have been harmed by social media.
Does speaking to the adult knowing that have to go through the things that your family?
As testimony continues, this trial could redefine how tech companies are regulated in the United States. If jurors determine that platform design knowingly amplified harm, the legal consequences may extend far beyond financial penalties. This case is about precedent, about setting boundaries in a digital era where screens shape childhood more than ever before. And while legal battles unfold in courtrooms, geopolitical tensions are rising on another front, this time involving nuclear negotiations and military positioning in the Middle East.
We're seeing tonight nuclear talks between the U.S. and Iran continuing amid a military buildup in the Middle East. With the second U.S. carrier strike group closing in on the region, President Trump is looking to pressure Iran to make a deal or risk U.S. military action.
Nuclear diplomacy is once again under pressure. The United States and Iran remain engaged in talks, even as a second U.S. carrier strike group moves closer to the Middle East. President Trump is signaling a familiar strategy: negotiate or face escalating consequences. Washington insists Iran must never obtain nuclear weapons. Tehran maintains its program is peaceful, but military positioning sends its own message. At the same time, talks involving Ukraine and Russia ended in stalemate in Geneva. President Zelensky accuses Moscow of deliberately dragging negotiations, particularly over disputed territories. This convergence of stalled diplomacy and visible military buildup creates a fragile global moment. The question now, are these negotiations strategic leverage or signs that tensions are nearing a tipping point?
the U.S. insisting Iran must not be allowed to have nuclear weapons. Meantime, tonight, talks between the U.S., Ukraine, and Russia ending in a stalemate in Geneva. President Zelensky frustrated with the talks, saying key issues including occupied territories.
Deploying a second carrier strike group is not routine symbolism. It is a strategic signal. Carrier groups represent rapid response military capability, projecting force without immediate escalation. Historically, such deployments are used to increase negotiating pressure while maintaining diplomatic channels. But they also raise the risk of miscalculation. Meanwhile, Ukraine talks appear frozen over core territorial disputes. Zelensky's public frustration suggests limited progress behind closed doors. Two separate conflicts, but both illustrate a broader theme: diplomacy backed by force. Factually, Iran's nuclear program has remained under intense international scrutiny for years. Sanctions, inspections, and intermittent negotiations have defined U.S. Iran relations for decades. But when military assets move closer to contested regions, markets react. Energy prices fluctuate. Allies reassess risk. Are these moves stabilizing deterrence or quietly escalating global uncertainty?
Tonight, authorities believe a social media stunt gone wrong in New York City. First responders using ropes to save a teenager who had fallen about 50 feet down a narrow shaft on the Queensboro Bridge in New York City. Authorities say that teenager is recovering in the hospital.
Authorities say a social media stunt may have led to a near-fatal fall on the Queensboro Bridge in New York City. A teenager reportedly fell approximately 50 feet down a narrow shaft before first responders used ropes to pull him to safety. The incident underscores a troubling trend: risky online challenges translating into real-world danger. At the same time, major sinkholes in New Jersey swallowed part of a roadway and even engulfed a dump truck delivering asphalt meant to repair other sinkholes. Two different events, one common thread: infrastructure and impulse colliding with consequence. When online attention becomes currency, how far are some willing to go for it?
Tonight, Phillipsburg, New Jersey, near the Pennsylvania border, declaring a state of emergency now. Several sinkholes, major sinkholes, opening up, one swallowing a dump truck delivering asphalt to actually fill other sinkholes. Multiple homes evacuated, dozens without power tonight.
Social media has long amplified high-risk stunts, from rooftop climbs to train surfing. Experts warn that viral validation can distort risk perception, particularly among teens. While this case remains under investigation, it reflects a pattern seen globally: digital influence translating into physical harm. Meanwhile, sinkholes in the Northeast forced evacuations and power outages. Infrastructure aging, combined with extreme weather patterns, can accelerate ground instability. When asphalt trucks fall into the very hazards they're meant to repair, it signals deeper systemic strain. Separately, researchers recorded a large shark in Antarctic waters for the first time, with scientists suggesting warming oceans may be shifting marine patterns. These are not isolated events, they are signals. Are communities investing enough in both digital literacy and physical infrastructure resilience?
Yeah, David, tonight's celebrations for U.S. skier Michaela Schifrin, winning gold after 8 years. We watched her win gold for the first time more than a decade ago as a teen to become the youngest slalom gold medalist in history in 2014. She won more gold in 2018 and now taking home the top prize again.
In Italy, history was made on the snow once again. Michaela Schifrin captured another Olympic gold, her first since the loss of her father in 2020. Marking a deeply emotional return to the podium. Team USA also celebrated breakthroughs in men's cross-country skiing, with athletes earning historic medals. In moments like these, sport becomes more than competition. It becomes resilience in motion.
And Team USA making history tonight in men's team sprint cross-country skiing. Ben Ogden and Gus Schumacher becoming the first Americans ever to medal in the event, earning silver. And Norwegian cross-country skier Johannes Klæbo breaking the all-time Winter Olympic gold medal record.
Schifrin first captured gold as a teenager in 2014, becoming the youngest slalom champion in history. Now, over a decade later, her comeback carries personal weight beyond statistics. Meanwhile, Norway's Johannes continues to chase Olympic records, tying Michael Phelps for total gold medals across winter and summer games. Even a local dog briefly wandered across the course, a lighthearted interruption in an otherwise intense competition. These victories remind us that amid global tensions and natural disasters, achievement and perseverance still define the human story. What drives athletes to return stronger after personal loss? And why do moments of triumph resonate so deeply during uncertain times?
Course, this local dog wandered on during a separate event, even crossing the finish line along with the Olympians. Dog and owner were reunited, David.
From courtroom battles over social media responsibility, to nuclear negotiations backed by military strategy, to digital risks, infrastructure strain, and Olympic triumph, today's stories reflect the complexity of modern life. Technology, geopolitics, climate, and culture are increasingly intertwined. Which of these developments concerns you most? Should tech platforms face stricter regulation? Are global tensions escalating or stabilizing? Share your perspective below. If you value sharp, fact-based analysis that cuts through noise, like this video and subscribe. We'll continue breaking down the biggest stories shaping our world, clearly, directly, and without the spin.